Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Thank you for staying with us now. SABC Morning is an entrepreneur, a public speaker, an author with 8 motivational books under his belt. His titles include The Make of a Champion, You're Born to Excel, and Job Search Made Simple, to mention only a few. He's now back with yet another refreshing perspective on how people can move from a situation of hopelessness into living the life they have been longing for. All of this is contained in his new read called Why Sit There Till You Die? For more on this, SABC joins me now in studio. SABC, thank you very much for joining me on Morning Live. Just for the benefit of our viewers, let's maybe talk about kind of what the book tackles.
The book tackles issues of personal change, how one moves from a place of hopelessness and to live and then maximize their potential in life. Because I think a lot of people are sitting their potential, are sitting their capabilities in situations or the background that they've been, that are sad, that are discouraging, and then they end up dying in those circumstances. That I'm trying to challenge people to move from those situations and live a life that can be fruitful, can be impactful in the society, as we need people who can be inspiration to the young fellows in our communities.
You've engaged with people during this process of writing this book, and what's some of the feedback that you've gotten?
Another feedback that I think is more inspirational and challenging to me as a writer was from a 60-year-old man who confessed to me if he got this book when he was 20, today he would be maybe a impactful business person. He has started to engage even in property at the age of 60. And there are people who are saying that this book has changed their lives, the perspective they have, and they've given up on life, but now they're able to come back and say, I can live my life regardless of what has happened in my life.
Is there an age or a stage in your life where you can go from hopelessness to being impactful? Because a lot of people feel that when I'm over that 40 mark, I like the fact that you talked about the 60-year-old who's still in business. But a lot of people feel that after a certain age, it's a lot more difficult to move from hopelessness to having an impactful life.
It's not that difficult, but it depends with the view that one is standing upon. Because some other people are around the people who discourage them each and every day, who say things like they cannot do anything, they cannot be anything in life. But if one moves away from that crowd and join people who can encourage them, who can challenge and support them, you find one is able to win a battle. A case scenario I can mention, someone can lose their both parents. One can say, I cannot be anything in life. But if one come across someone who has been in that situation and say, regardless of what I've been through, but I've managed to overcome, and now I'm a case study to other people to say, my life is encouraging to them. It depends where you stand and who are you interacting with, and also the change in mindset.
Why are so many of us living a life that we don't want?
I think we give up so easily, and we accept defeat as the final state in our life, that we cannot do anything about that. And because once there's a shift in our mindset, then there is that possibility, that small light that can say that in this situation, something can still come up.
But so there are people that are living a life they don't want. There are people in situations that they can't get out of. There are people that don't have access to inspirational figures, characters in their lives. And then on the other end of that, there are people that have managed to do so much with nothing. If you are finding yourself this morning in a situation where you are feeling completely hopeless, what is the first thing that you would say to that person to do this morning, on the Saturday morning, on the 28th of January? How do you change your life by the 30th of Jan? Or what is that process that you embark on to be able to move there?
I think the first words of wisdom I can throw to that person will be to say, you are not the first person who's going through what you are going through. Because in life, you find that there are three kinds of people. There's someone who's coming out of a situation, there's someone who's about to get into a situation, and there's someone who's going through a situation. And then you cannot just close yourself out because you are saying that I'm going through something, as if you are the only person who's experiencing that.
But our experiences is our reality. If somebody is hopeless, it's impossible for me to think of what the next person is going through when I am finding myself eye deep or neck deep in trouble.
Yes, that's true. but that's not the only final stage. Because every time when you are at your deathbed, it's when you realize that I still have something to offer in life. From that moment, you make a conscious decision that if I can get 1 minute of my life, I can still do something. By making that decision, you find that you get a little bit of strength to wake up. And you, for example, you go and get a book, or you go get and talk to someone around your community, because not everybody is down, and not everyone is hopeless. There's that one person who can give you an inspiration or an encouragement. Is that you don't need to lock yourself in that pity. That's why in my book there's a chapter that I say, come out of pity parties, because there are a lot of people who are celebrating that. They're saying that my life is at the end, I cannot do anything. But if you move away from that, you find there's still something about you that you can make.
Let's quickly talk about purpose, because I also feel that procrastination is the devil we don't talk about.
Yes.
You know, we kind of always set things off for maybe the next day or something else. How do we define our purpose? Because some people are very happy teaching others.
Yes.
Some people have naturally, through whatever process, have gone into a teaching role where they are quite passionate about engaging with other people, and that gives their life meaning. But how do you, if you nobody's shown you how to find a purpose, how do you define a purpose so that you don't sit there till you die?
I think that's critically to a layman. That is why you need someone who can be a mentor or a coach to usher you in terms of that. For an example, one will try to achieve something big and move away from something that they are passionate about, something that they love, because they think if I can get a degree somewhere in a certain field, then I can be a successful person in life. Else, they are good in music, like the guys who are performing now. Find that every time when they hear a song, there is something that moves in them. That's where their purpose is in life. That the reality of saying that I need a degree or I need to be an educated person, it closes them out as if there's nothing more about them in life. So if they can focus on such areas, you find that there's an excitement, there's an inspiration that sparks in. As they begin to do more of that, they begin to move from one level to another until they get there.
But let's be honest, even if their purpose is music, even if they have found their passion, how important is it to surround yourself with people that kind of keep you on the track to say you're doing a great job? Because it's probably as easy when you're on the road to whatever, how you've defined success, that you can get sidetracked by naysayers, people that are not really in your corner, friends that are secretly jealous of your success, and we are all surrounded by it in some way or another. So how do you kind of stay on that purpose? Do you need to surround yourself with positive people? You need, because the crowd that you keep, it defines and it speaks where you'll be. So that is why there's a saying that says, show me your friends and I'll show you how your future will be. So one way or the other, we cannot run away from that. For example, for me, where I am coming from today, there are people who from where I am coming from, they are watching me from the television today. But if I were to talk about where I'm coming from, that I was raised by domestic workers who didn't have degrees, but I had to go to an extent where I go to the university, I study, I end up being in a teaching environment where I teach other people as well. So if I had to sit from that platform to say I was grown by these domestic workers, there was nothing about me, I would have sat there. Even today, I would not be even here. Sure. A lot of people would not be even experiencing the wisdom that I'm sharing. So at the end of the day, that is why I had to start buying one book from another to start to shift my mindset. Yes. Sibisiso, we've run out of time. Thank you very much. That's entrepreneur, public speaker, and success coach Sibisiso Mbele. And the book is called Why Sit There Till You Die. We take an ad break, don't go anywhere.